So what is code deployment? Code deployment and the data. These two, we need to see the difference. Business data. So code deployment and business data. So both are different actually. So business data means, okay, business data is nothing but the data is coming from the different source system. For example, okay, irrespective of the environment, like a production or QA or development, irrespective of the environment, the source systems, okay, we will get the data from source system, and this is our Informatica server, and this is our EDW, right? It will extract the data from the source, do the transformation logic, and load it into the target, right? This is what we will go for. So this is the data, business data. If you talk about the production environment, that is the actual data, real-time data, right? I'm going for the online shopping, okay, online the portal, and then I'm purchasing some product. So some lot of the records will created in the backend. Okay, so I'm doing the transactions. The transaction will be captured. I'm registering myself as a customer. So all these are like a transactions. So those data are captured from the source system. At the end of the day, it will be moved to the data warehouse for the reporting purpose and other purpose also. Okay, so other purpose also it will be captured. So being in a different domain, like domain means, see, domain is nothing but, so sometimes they'll ask, so what is the domain you are working on? Okay, they will say Informatica. Informatica is not a domain. Okay, Informatica Power Center or IICS is a technology or tool, right? So ETL is the technology, Informatica Power Center or IICS is like a tool. So domain means it's like a banking, insurance. So these are the domains, different domains we have. So what is the which domain the business operates? So that we have to be very clear. And whatever the project we are explaining, so we have to understand their business. So what is the data is there in the source system and how, so what are the different front end tools that will be available. So all this we have to take. Okay, if for example, if you want to go for one banking, you are explaining on banking about the project. So go to the banking site and check what are the different options are available, functionalities are available. So those concepts we should know. Okay, so what are the different applications are available? So those applications we have to explain them. So ETL code that we are developing from the development environment to deploy it into production, right? So that code should work in production to move the data from source system to target system. So that code is nothing but this ETL code. This ETL code, okay, this is the code we will move. That is for code deployment. So as a developer, we will create the coding, that is mapping, task flow, and everything to move the data from source system to target system. I hope you are clear now, right? So that is the ETL code. So Informatica Power Center, if you are writing, that is on-prem ETL. Informatica IICS is like the cloud ETL. That's it. So as a ETL developer, we will write this code only. We will not write these data. Whatever the code we are writing, so that code will read the data from the source, do the transformation logic as per our code, then it will move the data to EDW. It will be consumed by different business teams, right? So business data, the data which is available in the source system, and code deployment, whatever the code we developed as a developer, so that is the deployment we will do. So this difference you should know. So because last time one of the student asked me, so we have developed the code and whether this code is being moved from source system to target system. No, whatever the code we developed, these are the code actually. This code deployment is for moving the data from source to target. Okay, this is not the data actually. In real-time project, we used to have different environments first. So what is the different environment? So we have the development environment. Okay, as a developer, we will have access to this environment only. Okay, so developer. So here we'll use developer here. The developer be available in the dev regions. So dev. As a developer, we will have read, write, execute permission. So we'll have all the permissions, right? So read permission, write permission, and execute permission. So everything we should have for the development regions. Yes, we can do insert, update, all the permission we should have. So for example, in the development, we will have the source system, right? Source database, maybe the Oracle, SQL Server, DB2, Salesforce, different applications also. So like ERP, Oracle Cloud ERP. So some different applications we may have. So that is the source system. Okay, this is development regions. So then we have the ETL tool, right? ETL tool. This is a development regions. I'm talking about development. Then we will have the data warehouse. This is a dev EDW, development EDW. So whatever the data is available in the source system, it is not a production data. So it's a dummy data. In the development region, they will create some dummy data for the development purpose. Okay, and also it will not have all the volumes of data. When compared to production database, these database will have less data only, and it will not have the same kind of data. So because production, for example, if I'm making that SSN number or Aadhaar number and everything in production database, everything is actual numbers and everything. But here, dummy numbers, some dummy data we will place it here, dummy name and everything, or we will go for masking also. So masked data we'll put here. So all this ETL and everything is a development. It is not a production. Okay. So whatever the code we are creating and whatever the source system we are connecting, all these are development regions only. The code we have to extract it and the deploy to production database. Then the connection, the database connectivity, so that we will repoint to the production one. That's it. That is what we will go for parameterized connection that we have already seen. Okay, I hope you are clear, right? So these are the source systems and this is the ETL and we'll go for the target system here, EDW. So we will have multiple multiple layers here. It is not a single layer to load. We'll have multiple layers like a staging. So we will have multiple layers here. Then only the data will be moved to the final layer. It will be consumed by different reporting. Here we will take the reporting like Power BI or Tableau. So that report will be given to the, it will be demonstrated to our customer. Then customer will see that, okay, this data looks fine, or that structure layer and everything looks fine. They will go for okay. So they will say like, okay, it's data are correct. This is what we need. Then they will plan it for next one, right? Next environment. This is development environment. Okay, we created this one and the data which is available in the development data is not actual data. So I hope you are clear, right? This is dev regions. So after that, okay, so after the development completed, as a developer, we have to do a testing. Do you know what is the testing called? So we will do different kind of testing. So one major testing is called, so unit testing, right? So we will do the unit testing, regression testing, different kind of testing we will do. But if the developer do the testing, it is called unit testing. Okay, we will do the unit testing and everything. So that will complete. So once the testing has been completed, all the sign off and everything we will receive. Okay, so then the code will be moved to the next environment. Okay, the code will be moved to the next environment. This is the next environment. For example, this environment is QA, so quality assurance. So even if you are going for any manufacturing companies, you can find some products on top of that, they'll put tested okay or okay. Some sticker will be there, right, on product. It is nothing but after manufacturing it, somebody else tested it, they are certifying it. Similarly, in our software also, we do have QA team, right? The tester, the role is called a tester, ETL tester. Normally, we'll call it as ETL tester, is a ETL developer. The ETL tester or the report tester. So reporting end, we'll do the reporting tester. So both reporting team or ETL testing team may be the same team. But this is the environment is called QA, quality assurance. So that is what we are going for, the quality assurance. So here we have to move our code, right? So whatever we created here, so that code we have to move, not the data. So data is available here already. So data is available here with the source system, but this source system is called QA source system. The connections, server connections, everything will be different here. Sometimes QA and development server on the same server, but only the schema will be different. Okay. So here we are going for the ETL. So that ETL here we are using, and then we are going for the data values. This is QA EDW. So, but whatever the code we developed here, that code should be moved to this server, right? QA server. Then the tester will execute that flow, that ETL code. It will move the data from this QA server to QA EDW, right? That is what it will move. So this is like the code. So how we will move the code? So from here we will have the deployment. The deployment, if you are going for any production, sorry, any agile methodologies, the deployment we will have it like, we will create a deployment pipeline, right? So we'll create a pipeline there. It will be like we have to export from here. And so some different tools are there. Like the tools is called, the tools are like, you can say it's a Jenkins is a tool, right? Or even you can go for this Git also. So Git also we can perform the merging, pull request, all this we can create. So in addition to that, we can go for different other tools also. So you might be using different tools, and we were using Jenkins as a tool, and previous project we were using some internal tool for the deployment, and also Git in the agile methodology. So this deployment I will explain later. By using these tools, we have to export these components from the development server. So whatever the component we created, for example, Informatica. So Informatica, which one we have to export? Informatica component. So Informatica, we will have .zip file, right? So that is our .xml file, or if it is a power center, we'll take .xml file. If it's a single file, we'll take the .xml, or the complete file, we'll take .zip file. It means we'll go to this one. For example, this is the mapping task we created, or the task flow we created. We'll go to this explore, right? So explore, this is the task flow we created. So we tested, everything is working fine. So we'll go to this one. As a developer, I will do export. Okay. As a developer, I will do export here. Just to click on export, then include all dependencies, everything. Yes, I want to export it, everything, like secure agent, everything. It will get automatically replaced in the target environment. That's fine. We'll export it, go to import and export logs. So download this one. So this will get downloaded as a zip file, right? So if you open this zip file, so you can see that, so you can see this file, extract all. So if you open it, it will have all the component, right? So you can see here, these are the components we have. Okay, this is the agent group. Just you can remove that agent group, and Oracle source connection, target connection, all this, but we will parameterized. Okay, so this is the one, and you can see this one, persistent cache, mapping task, and task flow. This is a XML file. Okay, so we have to take these component, we have to deploy it. So this is like .zip file or XML file. So connections we will not take it, because connection we will make it like a parameterized one. Okay, that's fine. So we will take the Informatica one, this one. Then so we might have created the target table, right? For example, target DDL, we have created in development regions. So that SQL we have to take. So DDL or DML. So DML, DDL. So we may have, so that we have to take as a .SQL file, right? So .SQL file extension, I'm talking about the extension we will take .SQL file. After that, so what else we will have? We will have the scripting. Yes, definitely we'll have the scripting. We might have created shell scripting or batch scripting, right? So any scripting we might have used, that we have to export it. In addition to the scripting, we might have used some scheduler also, scheduler component also, like that also we have to export it. So we'll see one by one later. So Informatica, so anything else we have? Informatica, DDL, DML, and scripting and scheduler. So all these components are, it's like one build we will create. Okay, so build we have to create it. So we'll go to the Jenkins, we'll create a build. So that build should be deployed into QA. So that is the code actually. So code deployment, we will do it here. So code deployment, it is not a business data. Deployment we will do. So the deployment concept I will explain in detail next week so that you will get clear idea. So this is like code deployment we have to do, right? So who will do that code deployment? QA team. So we have to give that artifact to them. So they will deploy it. They will execute this ETL, and then they will see that, okay, data is moving from source to target. If they are finding any difficulties, they will connect to the developer. They will ask all the details. Okay, if they are finding any defect, okay, if the QA tester, after executing it, they will have different cycles of execution. Cycle 1, cycle 2, cycle 3, that way, or they will go for phase 1, phase 2, phase 3. So that way. So they will have some execution plan, strategy, and everything. So that is their ETL tester jobs. So they will do it. So they are finding some defect here. Okay, they are finding ETL tester is finding a defect. So then they will raise the defect and assign the defect to the developer who has developed it. So how they will raise the defect? So they will raise a defect. They are finding the defect. Okay, so they will raise a defect and then assign the defect to the developer who has worked on. So that defect maybe if it is agile or if you are using Jira, it's a DevOps model. So they will use the Jira tool, or they will go for HP ALM. So have you heard about this HP ALM? So it's like one of the tools. So you might be using different tools or any other tool. Okay, so any other tool you might be using it. So I can explain this ALM. So ALM is nothing but application lifecycle management. It's a tool where the tester will log everything. Okay, this is the test case and I executed, and we did not get the desired output, and this is the output we are getting. Everything they will capture it and they will make it like test case failed. If they are making the test case as failed, they have to create a defect and assign to that particular test case. So they will assign the test case, then the defect will be assigned to the developer. Then they will have the defect triage call. So have you heard about this defect triage call? So they will do the triaging, all this defect triage calls daily basis. They will have defect manager will come into picture. If two different teams, they'll have the defect triage calls and defect manager. So defect manager means it's like a one particular manager manage both the teams, like development team as well as the testing team. Defect manager, they will coordinate with the development team as well as testing team. They will go for the call daily basis. If the project is in the testing phase, I'm talking about the waterfall methodology. Okay, normal waterfall methodology. Still more projects are working on waterfall methodology also. And defect triage calls we will have daily basis. We'll have the call and we will close that defect. Okay, so this developer has to at least has to accept it, or they have to defend it. Okay, it's not a defect like that. So if they are accepting it, they have to do the code change. They will update the code accordingly, or they will go to the business asking them some clarification. Based on that, they will get clarification. Based on that, they will update the code also. After that, whatever the code they are updating, for example, Informatica, we have 10 mappings. One mapping alone, this time I'm updating for phase 1. So that mapping alone, we will export it. We will use the same build number, and we will create another build with same artifact with updated version number. Okay, updated version number. So that Informatica one component alone, it will get the latest version of the mapping. Again, they'll go for the code deployment. ETL tester will do the testing. If they are finding any defect, so one by one they will create it. So this cycle will go off, right? This will go, and finally the tester will provide the sign off. Okay, the tester will provide the sign off, QA sign off. So they need to provide QA sign off. Then only the code should be moved to the next environment. Okay, QA sign off. So here ETL developer do the unit testing, then it will go. So then whatever the latest build number we have, so that's what we have, the build number, right? That latest build we have to deploy into the next environment. The next environment. So we'll go for next environment. So this is UAT. So user acceptance testing. So we'll go for UAT phase. So here we will do that whatever the latest build number. So that again we have to do the code deployment. Who will do the code deployment? UAT team. So UAT team will do the code deployment. Okay, so code deployment. The UAT team will do that with latest version number in the build. Okay, this environment is called UAT. UAT is nothing but user acceptance testing. So user acceptance testing, mostly business team will do that. This testing, like business teams, business side we may have, or some other teams also. Mostly like business team, they will do UAT. So UAT is nothing but okay, user acceptance testing. So here again, the same environments will be there, like a source. Okay, source end. You have the different sources, right? Similar kind of. Only the connection will be changed here. So we should have used the parameter file for the connections. So that parameter file should be changed here, pointing to QA server. That's it. So QA data warehouse, QA ETL server, QA source systems. So that is what we will do. So it will extract the data again. After the code deployment, they will run it. It will extract the data. So it's already completed QA testing. Mostly it should have here, it should pass all the QA testing as well. So here technically they will do all the testing. So here all the testing based on the business terminologies. Okay, they're not going to do with the same kind of testing again. They will think the business perspective. They will do all the functional wise the testing. Okay, so this is the business testing they will do. Okay, so if they are finding any defect here, if they are finding any defect here, so again the same defect, okay, the ALM tool they will use, and they will create that defect. Okay, they will create that defect in the ALM tool, and they will assign the same defect to, they will assign it to the developer. So developer again has to, again they will go for triage calls and everything, UAT phase, and they will do the testing, and again they will give the rebuild. So again it will go, and they will provide the sign off. Okay, this is nothing but UAT sign off. Okay, UAT sign off. Okay, everything is ready now. So everything we are ready. We have done with all the sign off and everything. We completed. Okay, the code should be moved to the live production. So this is the production database. That's the environment. Okay, so it will have the database server and everything. Will have the production server and actual data. So here, whatever the data we are seeing, so that is like actual data. So this is like live deployment, go live deployment. We'll say it's like a go live deployment. So for this, we have the approval teams, right? So we have the approval teams in between. So that team is called CAB team. Okay, CAB. So CAB is nothing but change advisory board. We can call it as change advisory board. So this change advisory board, whatever the change request we created, so we have to tell them that, okay, this is what the change I did it. So these are the impact analysis I have done, and these are the lower environments. Okay, these environments when compared to production, These environments are lower environment. Okay. If you take UAT, the production environment will be a higher environment. The QA and development will be a lower environment. We will call it as these are the lower environment. These are the higher environment. Okay. For development, all environments are higher environments. Okay. So here is nothing but production environments, right? Production database, all the servers and everything is pointing to actual data. So here also we'll have the servers, and this is what the actual data will have. So now I hope you are clear. So what is the difference between data? What is the difference between the deployment, right? These are the source system, and we'll have the ETL. So here we'll have the ETL, right? And we'll have the data warehouse here. So all these are like a production servers. And whatever the data here we are going, so that one time, first time if you are doing it, the run is called dry run, right? So dry run, we will perform the dry run. So we'll call it as dry run. It means, so once deployment completed, we'll do the dry run. We will check all the data has been loaded correctly or not. So if anything goes wrong, so we have to roll back it. So that is the advice, CAB advisory board, all the questions they will ask. So before that, we need to have all the team sign off, QA sign off, UAT sign off, production support team sign off. Okay, so production support team, they need to provide the sign off here, right? So production support team, support sign off, yes, they need to provide. So otherwise it will not go to the production environment. And we'll have one more sign off. So what is the one more sign off? It's a DBA sign off, right? So if any DB component we are creating, so the DBA sign off also we need to get. So what is the database size, right? The table size, what we are going to do. So all this we need to get DBA sign off also. So because without knowing the DBA impact, so we should not deploy any component to the target database or data warehouse or all this. So development sign off, QA sign off, UAT sign off, support team sign off, and DBA sign off. Support team means they will check all the parameter files, permissions, and all the approvals. Okay, so they will also do impact. Okay, if you are doing this one, so whether it has been communicated to the downstream, whether we need for this deployment, so what is the impact, all this they should know. So then only they will provide the production support team. So with that, the CAB will approve, then only the code can be promoted to production deployment. So once it is done, so we will have the warranty period also. For example, if it is in the warranty period, so different teams are doing the development and testing and UAT, all are like different teams. 30 days, we have the warranty. So it means within 30 days, if any code, if anything is broken up, if anything goes wrong, then development team itself, they need to fix it because so that is the warranty period we have. So 30 days, within 30 days, if anything broken or any issue comes, the development team is responsible to fix it in the production. So they will coordinate with the production support team because they will not have access. They will coordinate with the production support team or they will go for the deployment. Again, they will need to do the deployment process, everything automated way they will do. So these are the 4 different environments will be there in the real-time projects mostly. So in between UAT to production, if more sensitive informations like more critical project and more sensitive information we are doing it. So we have 2 more environment called secure 1, secure 2. Okay, secure 1 means it's a same replica of production with masked data, and only production support team will have access. Even sometimes that secure 1 team, separate team, they will do all the testing, then finally it will move to production. These are the 4 environments we will have in our real-time project. So what are the environments? So development, it's a dev regions, QA, UAT. So QA is nothing but quality assurance, and UAT, user acceptance testing. Okay, so production is like the live database. live ETL tool, everything. So this is what it will go for. The build we have to do, deployment we have to do, all this. So most of the agile projects, the deployment, everything is automated process. Okay, automated process. So we have to export component, we have to create a build and deploy it, and automatically it will, we have the Git and everything, right? It will create a pipeline, it will deploy it, and then it will do the basic checks, the code checks it will do, and it will give you the deployment completed successfully. It will do the basic checks also, the deployment testing it will do, and the UAT it will go for. Similarly, it will go for all the different environments. If they are asking in interview, so you should have this knowledge to explain them. So what are the role, and you are performing a developer role, you'll be coordinating with the different teams, right? Admin team, that is DBA, database admin, Informatica admin, testing team, and production support team. These are the different teams we will work.